Okay, welcome to the garage. I'm going to talk a little bit about the trials and tribulations of this Toro lawnmower. Just for backstory, I got it new in 2012 as a wedding gift, and it's never ran quite properly since day one. The behavior is a misfire, and sometimes it wouldn't even start after the initial start if you shut it down to change the bag or whatever. And so I've kind of been poking away at it over the last 8 years, trying to sort out what the issue is here, because it's brand new. There shouldn't be a problem, but there is. And I'll show you one clue. This is the original plug. It's Champion RJ19LM. And you can tell it's pretty black. And behavior... what that's kind of telling me, it's super duper rich, or the spark is not hot enough to actually burn all the fuel off. So the first thing I tried was putting a new plug in. Try to keep it simple. So I put an NGK one in. It just equivalent heat range, and it made a difference. It improved, but it didn't totally fix the problem. So then the next thing I discovered was there's an option for a high altitude jet, and so that would it's like I'm kind of about 1200 meters above sea level here, and they say to use that jet at 1500, so there's less oxygen at a higher elevation, so you kind of need to have a leaner mix, so you have a jet with a smaller venturi to allow that to happen. So I put that in there, and it made an improvement. I got it a little bit better, and the lawnmower is pretty much functional now, but it still has a misfire. And so the last thing I'm going to try here is go in one heat range hotter with the plug. So this one was a 19. I'm going down one to a 17, RJ17LM. I'm going to see if that cures it fully. And if we hear a knock or something like that, then I'm going to put the old jet back in. But we'll see what happens here. I'm just going to crank it up and show you what it sounds like. So it runs good for about 30 seconds, and then I think the plug gets fouled and it starts to misfire. So let's just see. Hopefully you could hear that burble. Like I said, it's pretty close to being cured, but it's definitely not where it should be. The hotter it gets, the more you run it, kind of the worse that behavior gets. But I've been able to cut the lawn successfully, but I want to try this last thing and see if it can just fully sort it out. Yeah, classic, as you can see, really black. I don't know if I'm holding it in the right spot. There we go. Yeah, just super black. So here's the plug I just pulled out of the motor. That is very carboned. So even with the high altitude jet, I think this needs a little more help to get this looking more proper and running a bit better. So we'll try this other plug and hopefully it's a success. So just going up one heat range. Okay, let's crank it up and see if it's any better. Well, not a significant improvement, so I'm going to go back to the NGK. That thing functions. Maybe the NGK, go up a heat range with that and see what happens, but I don't know. But I think that's about the best I can do with it. I've done some fair bit of reading about this model, and it seems like nothing but plug troubles with it. The manual actually calls for a different one that I found in it from factory, so I'm sure it sounds like they were aware of it and went back to the old style plug. And that's there. It calls for this weird, like, I don't know, some kind of YJ. You can't even find it, but you can see this one has the factory paint on it. So, and this is the RJ19. So yeah, I don't know. Keep researching and or just live with it. I think I'm gonna live with it. It's at least functional again. Yeah, if anybody's got any ideas on how to make this thing run better, definitely, or could point me to some sources that I could go read about it a little bit more. That'd be appreciated. Put it down in the comments. Yeah, the unfortunate reality with these um, lawnmowers and whatnot is the shop rate. If I was to take it to somebody, it basically pays for itself very quickly. So you're kind of on your own. Either you trash it or you spend more than the value of it trying to get a problem like this sorted. But yeah, I went from basically non-functional, couldn't cut the lawn, to being able to cut the lawn whenever I need to. It just has that misfire there, or where it flames out every other beat, I guess. But it's definitely usable again, which is good. And that was mostly to do with changing to an NGK plug and going to the high altitude jet. In my case, the jet, there's zero adjustment on the carburetor for these. You can't do anything, which is part of the reason they're so challenging to work on. Usually you can adjust a needle and away you go, but everything's kind of set at factory, and there's really not much you can do in regards to tuning. Um, yeah, the jet is the same thing that holds the float bowl on, so it's one thing and takes like 20 seconds to swap out.